What's up YouTube? My name is Lexi. Welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing the US 2024 election results. I mean, it's no smiley matter, but Donald Trump has been elected to be the new president-elect.
We're trapped! Loop is a madman, help us, save us! Loop is a madman, help us, save us! A cry for help.
And not only did he achieve the required electoral college votes, but he also acquired the popular vote. And I just have a lot to say about the election, about how I'm feeling about America going forward. I have a lot to say about why we possibly achieved the result that that was the outcome that we got. And yeah, you know, I understand that politics is a very touchy subject, so please don't come in here, don't do too much. Don't do too much, okay? We're just here to have a conversation about things and to just be honest. So I hope that you enjoy the conversation. If you enjoy the conversation, please consider giving me a like, a share, leave a comment down below, and hopefully maybe give me a subscribe as well. You know, I'm brand new to this space and this is my second video, so I just want us to start to work on that, you know, build that relationship with one another. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, I have to give Kamala Harris her tens, her praise, her applause, her flowers, everything under the sun, because for her to have 107 days and for her to put together the campaign that she did, it took skill, it took diligence, it took determination, and you know, she did the best that she could to reinstate a sense of hope, or a sense of just reigniting a little bit of pride in the Democratic Party. And for that, 10, she's always going to have my unwavering respect, because that was not easy. She had the deck stacked against her for numerous reasons, and she still rose to the occasion. She didn't falter, and she saw her plan through. Now, was it the best plan? Not 100%, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. Let's get into the fact that Kamala Harris, in fact, did only have 107 days to run her campaign. The fact that Joe Biden decided to stay in his race for a second term as long as he did, by far the most unpatriotic decision of his entire presidency. As the president, it is your duty and your job to make decisions that are going to benefit the American people, that's going to keep the country together. And he just inspired such a sense of chaos, such a sense of panic and fury, and just he really made us all lose faith in the Democratic Party just by staying as long as he did. And especially because he was doubling down and tripling down on that decision after doing so terribly in his presidential debate.
For what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
We got to think about it. We were literally watching this man look completely dazed and confused as he was addressing the nation. He was over here tripping up stairs, going on planes. He was falling off of bikes. Like it was just a very wild time. So, and he was so amped up and revved up based off of the ideals of his family. The fact that his family was bigging him up and really just installing a jetpack in his back to tell him to keep going. Elderly abuse. Like, lock them up, because ma'am, Jill, sweetie, give it up, hang it up flat screen.
Visiting angels care so much. Visiting angels, America's choice and home care.
That's it. Like, he cannot do this. After a certain age, there's just some things that you just should not be doing anymore. Driving is one, and running the country is another one. To achieve 82 years, that's a blessing. Not a lot of people are able to have such an illustrious life on this earth. And, you know, nobody is mad at you because you're aging. It's beautiful to age, but we are not upset, but it's just, it would have been graceful to watch you just say, you know what, I'm going to phase out, I'm going to bow out gently, I'm going to bow out respectfully, I'm going to endorse somebody who I believe is going to be right for the job. And not only did he step away, mind you, this man decided on a Sunday, when the country is kind of like resting, we're on a weekend, we're having breakfast, this man just decides, hey guys, in a tweet, time's up. Y'all got what y'all want, whatever. He just kind of made his announcement, dropped his tweet, and just left. Like, sir. Something else that really hindered Kamala's campaign was the fact that she didn't do enough to differentiate herself from Biden. She went on The View and they asked her, what would you do differently than Biden?
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
That answer alone, all that did was instill the idea that you are going to be more of the same in a climate where Americans are looking for change. That answer was just not a good one. And on top of that, you are attached to a president with a 40% approval rating. We all took tests, we know what was passing, and we know what's failing at the end of the day. That was not a hill to die on. And the problem as well is the fact that she did in fact only have 107 days. It's extremely unfair to put that kind of pressure on somebody because we all have conversations and we all don't say the right things at the right moment. However, because you are going for the highest position in the land in such a short period of time without the public really knowing who you were. Like, she was in this seat for 4 years and we really did not know her. We didn't see her. How many times were we all asking, where's Kamala? Like, where is she? And we haven't really seen her up until it was time for her to run this race. So we're listening to her. And these are all opportunities for us as Americans to know who she is, what she stands for, what she's about. And that answer indicated that you may or may not have the ability to pivot, to change, to inspire change, to see where something probably went wrong, or to be able to build upon it to make it better, to make it more effective in the future, or to even be able to say, all right, well, this was maybe not the best idea and I'm just not going to do that. And I get it. You might not want to necessarily bite your the hand that feeds you. You don't want to like toss your boss under the bus, but we needed you to step up. We needed her to be able to really step into that role and own the fact that she is going to be in the seat. And these are decisions that she is going to be making going forward for the benefit of the American public. I want to talk about the lackluster energy surrounding the Democratic Party. Honestly, I have not been excited to vote for a Democratic candidate since Obama. When I think about the Obama years, it's just an automatic smile to my face because Obama was just so charismatic. He was so intelligent. He was so put together. He was so, just a man of the people, listening to his speeches, these phenomenal speeches that he was able to put together. He did have a way of words. I really watching him, watching Michelle, the way that they interact, the black love of it all, the black nuclear family, the black power couple. There's two people who are just completely solely dedicated to the betterment of society and humanitarian. They were humanitarians. I love the Obamas so much. I love what they stand for. I love what they represented. They were the embodiment of hope, and honestly, they were the embodiment of the best parts of America, So for us to make that transition from that to Donald Trump, nasty work. Donald Trump, when he got in office, one thing about Donald Trump, he came across at first he was a media personality. Let us not forget that this man has been ingrained in us since our childhood. He was on magazines, he was in TV shows, he was the Don. As a cultural influencer, yeah, Donald was a good time. But Donald got in office, and as he ran his campaign in 2016, we heard what he was getting ready to bring to America. He was going to bring separation. He was going to bring divide. He was going to bring racism. He was going to bring misogyny. He was going to bring oppression. He was going to bring bigotry. He was going to bring racism. He was going to bring all of the nastiest negative parts of America, the parts that we don't even like to acknowledge that exist. but he brought all of it to the surface, and that's one thing that I think, in a weird twisted way, I think I did appreciate that, because I like to see the monster that I'm dealing with versus, you just kind of hiding it covertly. He made it okay for people to be racist, for people to be as nasty as they want to be. And at least, like, as a person who would be a person who's affected by that, I was able to navigate that. At least I'm just like, okay, well, I know that's how you feel, so now I can move around you. But that still is a nasty feeling to have to deal with in America, in a place where it is your home equally as well. Well, because this person is uprising, like, is inspiring things like white supremacy, And now we watch this man run his campaign again, saying things like black jobs. We have this man who's over here talking about Haitians who are eating cats and dogs. Like, what are you talking about? People who he's over here talking about how, remember we had, when he was in office the first time, China virus, like, just so many prejudices. And then even at one of his rallies, there was a comedian performing, and he said, something like, oh, like, there's an island of trash floating around in the in the ocean, referring to Puerto Rico. Like, what? Who says something like that? But nobody in that rally was necessarily, opposing any of that. They were just kiki haha. Like, there are people who genuinely feel seen. They feel seen with somebody like Trump, and that is problematic. So one thing about Democrats, like, they have not been able to select a candidate that is as motivational as Obama, who is somebody who we are going to look at their policies and say, that is the man that we want to vote for, that is the man that we want to represent us. Like, we have not had a truly dynamic person. And yes, the idea of a female president is, it's a wild, it's the wildest dream, and it would be a wild dream. But as progressive as we want to believe America is, it's just not there. It's just not there. And we want a candidate who's going to motivate us based off of their principles, off of their intellect, off of their brain, off of, like, what it is that they're going to bring to the seat, what it is that they're going to do for our day-to-day to change our lives. And Dems have not been able to come and organize that for us. So I do hope that they're going to seriously take this as an opportunity to wake up, because we are no longer going to vote for somebody because they are the lesser of two evils. That is not enough. That is not motivational enough. And one thing about Republicans, whether they like somebody or not, they are going to show up to the polls. And I believe that what happened this time is Dem said, enough with you not fulfilling promises, enough of just putting anybody here for us to vote for, enough of you not actually enforcing the changes that we need to see. We are not going to vote. We are going to stay home, and you are going to have to earn the Democratic vote. And I think that was a powerful statement that was made. So for the next 4 years, we will see what is to come. Maybe not even 4, maybe 2 really, but we'll see what happens. Next, the celebrity endorsements. The era of celebrity influence, or influencers in general, it is coming to a complete halt. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares what celebrities are doing. Nobody cares what influencers are doing. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, we are looking for a president. We're looking for a person who is going to lead the country in a different direction. A person who is going to influence change. That person is going to have the right to make or enforce laws that is going to directly affect my day-to-day. I do not care about what Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, I don't care what any of those people have to say, because at the end of the day, their bottom line is not going to be affected by who is sitting in those seats. They do not know the price of eggs, okay? They do not know they do not know cost of living, expenses. Like, these problems that we're experiencing are leaps and bounds away from these people. So the fact that we watched a campaign just be filled, I don't want to say that I knew that we were doomed, but I do want to say that the minute where I knew we were in desperate trouble is the fact that was when I saw Meg Thee Stallion come out on that lady's rally talking about body yada yada in a tie and a crop top. Baby, no. No, that is not what I need to see. And if you looked at everybody else's face at the rally, everybody was just like, what are we watching? You know, like, if we want to twerk, we're going to put on the album, we're going to watch a video, we're going to go to the concert. But her just showing up at a rally when we're supposed to be hearing about your politics and what it is that you have going for us, what your plans are, it was not the time or place for such a thing to occur. And that is that on that. When it comes to women's rights, I am never going to vote against my own self-interest. I am a woman and I believe in women's rights all over. Luckily, I do live in New York, but I do feel like in general, at the end of the day, it is not the government's place to tell you what you can and cannot do with your body. It is your decisions, and sometimes certain procedures need to be performed that can be life-saving, you know? Like, there are so many reasons. It's not just because of recklessness. Like, sometimes there's rape, there's incest, there's a lot of reasons as to why certain procedures would have to be done. So to be so negligent against that, and not only are you negligent against it, there are men, well, not men, specifically Trump. Trump is over here talking about abortions that are being had after the babies are born. Like, that is not how it works. And it just goes to show that you are so crazy and you are somebody who is trying to enforce something and you don't even understand the female anatomy as is. So that is just disgusting all around. And I'm never going to get behind the idea of a woman's choice or a woman's voice just being silenced in a matter such as that. But what I will say is that as much as that is true, I do feel like when it came to her campaign, I do think that to a certain degree, I could see how men would feel lost in those conversations or just missing the plot, like they're just not seen at all. Because where do they land? Where do they stand in a place where, you know, the future is female? You know, they've benefited so long from patriarchy and from being like the head of house, etc., etc. Like, and now we're about to turn the whole thing upside down. So where do they stand? So I think like that also was but that also was something that made a lot of men flip to Trump. People who wouldn't even be normal Trump supporters, like that was something that would have caused them to make that switch and make that distinction away from how they normally would vote. So now where do we go from here? I think that this is just a grand opportunity for people to focus on themselves and not focus on yourselves in terms of like minding your business and drinking water, although those things are helpful, but more so in terms of just what is going to make you happy. Focus on your day-to-day, focus on what's going to make you feel productive, focus on your health. I feel like we're going to have some policies that might be passed that are not going to be in your best interest. So focus on your health as much as possible. Try to go to the gym as much as possible. Like, just do. Everybody wants to go to the gym for aesthetics, and I am a gym girly, so I understand that. But also just go to the gym because you want to make sure that you're going to give your body the best fighting chance against anything, you know? So physical activity, educate yourself, read books, because people are not reading the way that they used to. It's very sad, but read books. Make yourself financially literate. Make yourself as versatile as possible. Learn new skills. Travel more. Build community with each other. Build community with self. Move in energies of love. Because I'm not saying to act all lovey-dovey, but just have grace with people. Be understanding of other people. You know, for women, I understand that it is inspiring a lot of you to join the 4B movement. I will not be joining that movement. I do more so believe that there is a healthy balance, that men and women are supposed to coexist with each other. And I believe more so in doing the work to actually increase in your discernment skills. Be careful with your body. You know, the hot girl summer days, those should have been days in the first place, but those days are over. So please be careful with yourself, with your body. Make good choices, and just really do put yourselves in positions to win. Like, that's really the only thing I can really say. Take care of your family, take care of your kids. Like, that's all I can really say. But but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna make it through the next 4 years. Like, the world is not ending. It's just changing rapidly. But sip your tea and just, like, you know, have y'all seen the cabinet picks that are coming out? So just sip your tea, watch it all kind of crumble, watch it all just do what it's gonna do, and mind your business, but in the background, govern yourselves accordingly. You know what we're up against. And yeah, that's all I really have for this video. So take care. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me for a little while. Please consider giving me a like, a share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.